Thank you for picking up the sticks. This is episode 96 of the Sticks Gaming Podcast. That took me 2 tries.
There you go.
Nailed it.
I am Mike Kernett. To my right, Mike Steak Carnier.
What's going on?
To my art, to my
Guys, it's been a month and a half since we've done this. I'm not restarting again.
Nah, just keep going.
I forgot Art's nickname. I said it beforehand. Art Rosine's over there.
Enunciate.
I was enunciating, and my brain is not used to that, so it just farted over everything. Welcome back. It's been a while. So we had our holiday schedules was just not going to work out to get an episode in, scheduled programming. Then we had the T-virus outbreak.
We could have recorded on Christmas.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything. I was doing a lot. And then we had
I passed out sitting up on the couch. Because I got about 3 hours of sleep the night before.
That sounds great.
Because little kids like to wake up at 6:30 in the fucking morning.
we had to like wake up. Well, every year for the last 3 years, we had to like wake up a kid like, "Hey, it's Christmas.
Get up.
You're a child. Be excited."
Well,
So-
it's funny. So on Christmas, like the kids up and at 'em, you know, before anyone else is awake, and like a few days ago, like Karen's gonna wake him up for school. Like, hey, buddy, wake up. I guess he went, go.
They just say, "Go away."
And so she left and came back because it was like time to. I'm up against clock now. We got to get dressed and get our ass out the door. She goes again. I thought I told you to go.
Oh man.
My kid's
All
5,
right.
by the way.
Step too far.
Nah, she didn't do anything. I think she might be like, no, get up. Let's go.
All right,
Whereas I would have dumped the mattress. Like, we're going.
we got a lot to go over. So, a little bit different than usual. Like, we usually do the game of the year a little bit different anyway. So, in terms of just like, we don't talk about what we're playing, especially now we've had like a month and a half off. Like, I don't know about you guys, but some of the stuff I played in that month, it now appears on my list and it didn't appear before. So, don't really want to talk about what you're playing now and then talk about it again in like an hour.
Yeah.
We're doing Game of the Year. So, we're going to switch it up a little bit. We do have our annual New Year's resolution, the Get Better edition, because we've been stinking at that recently. Sony put out their year in review PlayStation stats. Went over that last year, and this year is just as shocking how much of a bum I am. Then we got the new releases, news, Game of the Year. We got added some new categories this year too, so it's not just straight up Game of the Year. And then maybe, possibly, get to what you're playing, depending on if it's 3 hours in or not. We'll figure that out.
Please not 3 hours.
No. So,
Thinking around 2.
I got an
today.
alarm set for 4:30 in the morning.
yikes. So, yeah, let's just get right into this. So, we've been doing New Year's resolution every single year since we've been doing this. We'd have mixed success on if we actually get these things done or not. I think you had a list of games you wanted, or some games you wanted to play this last year.
Yeah. I went and looked through the list, and it wasn't as colossal of failures I thought it
Oh,
was.
congratulations!
I mean, I dipped my toe into a lot of them.
Yeah,
Some of them I actually put some time into, but yeah, I wouldn't call it a success. It's not a colossal failure.
I mean, would they keep you on the baseball team? Is your percentage high enough to?
Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 6 out of 13. I'm betting 500 almost.
Oh, that's not bad.
460?
yeah.
That's not bad.
You're a Hall of Famer.
That's not terrible.
You still got Return of the Obra Dinn needs to be played.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I had this list of like games that I missed out on that I wanted to play, and yeah, I played a bunch of Fallout 3 and didn't finish it. I think Fallout games just like playing all the way through is just not for me. Like somewhere, because the story arc always is like, oh, you're looking for your father. It's always your father.
Or you're always yeah. Anyway,
Well, you're looking for someone.
Yeah.
And then you find them, and then there's still more story. And for me, it's like, I'm looking for this person. I found them. I got about 3 more hours. I'm good.
your prince is another castle.
Yeah. Like Fallout 4, it was like, oh, you're looking for the Institute, and that's the one where you're looking for your son.
Ah.
And you're like, oh, cool, I found the Institute. I found my son. All right.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. So, yeah, I played a good chunk of that and just stopped. Played a little bit of Arkham City, like an hour maybe. It's fine.
You more than an hour.
I know.
Yeah.
That's one of those games. It's like that'll be what I'll jump into, like, as I have nothing else going on to do.
I think 13 hours for how long to beat is also being light. Honestly, I feel like I put way more time into that game.
It depends. I mean, if you're going for like the Riddler trophies
Which I
and
did.
that kind of stuff, that'll take a while. But I think you could between like 11 and 13 hours. Like if you're kind of not rushing, but
Yeah.
just going through, I think that's about right.
Let's see. I had Golf Story.
Ooh, Golf Story.
I would have appreciated more golf and less story.
I finally bought it as well because it was finally on sale. 100% agree. I played it for about an hour, and I don't think I'm ever going to play it again.
I played it. I
I'm
played it more
really
than an hour,
disappointed.
but it was like there's so much time in between when you're doing the actual
Yeah.
like golf course.
Yeah, which
Like there's all the little challenges.
Right.
Like it's like drop a ball and hit that
feed the
gopher.
fish
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and it's
Hit-
like okay,
get a ball near that
Right.
turtle.
Yeah,
But no, I like the 3-click golf and
Yeah.
the art style's fine and there was just too much going on. Like all the stuff you had to do between the golf courses and
You mean all the charming stuff?
I didn't find it very charming, honestly. Unfortunately,
it was it was
at least I know I can skip Sports Story.
it was like Stardew Valley with golf. However, like all the stuff I liked in Stardew Valley, like the farming and the cave hunting and stuff, it would be like if I had to deal with like days of story in between doing those things. Yeah,
Fair enough.
Hellblade I played. I've talked before about my issues at the end of that game. Ghostbusters played. Dipped my toe into that one. Never got back to it yet. Paid for it, so I'll probably go back to it at some point. And I played a bunch of Final Fantasy VII, and I just stopped.
Oh man,
God,
you're so close.
again.
I
You
still,
could've been so close.
I still have the. I made it farther than I ever made it. I still have the save file on my Switch.
Do you know how many hours you were in
I have no
at that point? No, I'm just kind of trying to figure out where you're how much further you got to go.
I say the ones I did not get around to playing were Metal Gear Solid, Mad Max, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War 2018, BioShock, Bastion, and Return to the Obra Dinn.
Oh, I love all those games. Well, I love half those games.
So that was last year.
What do we got for
That's
this
not
year?
bad though.
This year, after just in general thinking and the pile of games I have sitting in front of my TV, and the PlayStation Year in Review, like I want to play more games.
Yeah.
I need to play less Rainbow Six.
Yeah. I need y'all to play less Rainbow Six when I jump on and feel obligated to jump on there with you guys. So, again, if it's 3 or more, I'm
Bravo,
like,
guys. Bravo.
Listen, it's one thing to say it, whether or not they got Battle Pass now, so I have goals to work towards. And
oh my goodness.
we'll see.
All right. I'll go next. I'm doing my annual. However, I've changed it up. I'm trying to save more money this year, and games is a good way to do that, especially when I have like all these things to play. So I'm just doing 10, 15, and it's a mix. And I'll explain why in a minute. Because now I have, this is the first New Year's resolution in the new house, so I got my new setup. I got my setup, everything else
Sure.
good to go. I even told you guys about the retro PC I got in there now with every Nintendo game, every Super Nintendo game, PlayStation games, PSP games. I got all kinds of stuff going on now. I bought a bunch of, backward compatible 360 games and stuff like that. So my list is more of a mixed bag than usual. Usually just 10 games, mostly indie stuff. Here's what I got. Number 1, Hitman, the new one. I never played it.
Yeah.
You
Great
love
game.
it. I think I'm gonna like it, and I bought it, and I never played it. I got Hitman on there. Devil May Cry 5. I never got a chance to play it before this isn't my list of games I didn't get to play before the end of this year.
I was gonna say, like with you having a list like this,
Yeah.
Hitman's a good one because you can like go through that and do every mission once and get a pretty good feel for it, or you could sit there and go through and try to do all the challenges, which involve like getting different outfits and hearing different like stories play out and killing people in different ways. So it's one of those games like you could be done with it in like 5-6 hours. You could be never done with it.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like I'm gonna like it just because I feel like it's a game that caters to a lot of things that I enjoy in games, and like you talk about like having like a contained area and finding different ways to go about it. Like I like scratching through nooks and crannies of levels and finding stuff. So I think that's gonna be fun.
Right. I mean, you can go in there and go completely loud and just cause all kinds of ruckus, or
Yeah.
you could try to do stealthy, hide bodies, don't kill anyone but the target. It's one of those things like you can make it have as much replay value as you want.
Right.
Gotcha. So Devil May Cry 5 because I didn't get to it. Same story for Days Gone and Death Stranding. I have them. I want to play them. I just didn't get to them before the end of the year. I never actually. I think I got about a third of the way through back in the day, but never finished Eternal Darkness on the GameCube. Mm-hmm. I've been staring at it for far too long. I have it hooked up. I have
Nice.
no excuse why I can't play it,
Nice.
so I'm going to play it. I also bought some DLC packs and never played them for like Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil 2. Both those DLC packs, I have everything for them. I haven't done anything for them yet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be playing through those. I'm finally going to sit down and play Resident Evil 6. That's the only mainline game of Resident Evil I've never played. I've never played it at all.
Yeah.
Like, I just missed it when it first came out. I have it.
Your spirit was broken after 5.
You were there. You saw it live. Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11. I never played the story modes on either one of those.
Oh, they're so good.
Catherine, who I had a long time. I bought that backwards compatibility on 360. I didn't buy the new version that came out.
Okay.
But there's one of those things like everyone was like it appears on like a lot of people's favorite games of all time list. So I like weird kitschy stuff and I might like it. Astrobot, Moss, it's got that VR goodness going. And the rest of my backwards compatibility list is Deadly Premonition because the second one's coming out sometime this year. And same thing with Eternal Darkness, I never played very far into Silent Hill 2. So I have that. I know it plays like garbage on a 360, but it plays.
It does, yeah.
And I mean, we're talking about a PlayStation 2 game too.
Sure.
So like, I can wrap my mind around retro games and looking the way they're supposed to be. Like, as long as it turns on and I can progress through the game.
Right.
It sounds like I still can.
I think so, yeah.
That's on my list. I remember
so good.
I remember I remember the point where I stopped because I had no weapons. And there's this terrible sound in the hallway, and my only option was to go down that hallway. And I just didn't. I just stopped playing. So so that's 15 mix of old, new DLC packs, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna play all those games before I buy something new.
Wow.
Wow, jeez.
And I was looking at the release calendar. We haven't gotten into like new releases, like we're going to be talking about most anticipated games here in a minute too. But like, I'm kind of good until April. Mm-hmm. And even at the beginning of April is like a weird one that I may even wait on anyway. Which again, I'll talk about in a minute. But I can hammer a lot. Some of those are kind of shorty, especially the DLC stuff. It's kind of short.
Well, to say like I remember last year's you had like. I think it was mostly like shorter games.
Yeah, I had a bunch of those indie games that pile up. They were like 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
So you got some in there that could be meaty.
I know. That's fine. That's the whole idea is to get these things A out of the backlog and B saves myself some cash. So both those things should occur. Stake what you got.
Nice. Is Art reminding me before the show because I couldn't remember what my resolution was last year. But to play more VR, which I successfully did this year.
Congratulations.
Not only did you play more VR, you bought another VR.
Yep, I did. Sure as hell did. Love that quest. Finally got a couple more new games for it. Well, they finally had a holiday sale. I was like, oh, finally, shit on sale. Like, I don't care if it's like $1 off. Dude, finally.
The PSVR, like getting that now is great. Everything's on sale.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Super cheap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god, like I just picked up like $10. Like,
right.
Sure. Like, but for some reason I can't wrap my mind about buying super hot VR for more than it's like $16 right now. I'm like, I just can't.
Oh, that's cheap. That's actually really cheap.
I know it is.
Yeah.
But
is it because you've already like bought and played the game?
Yeah, I think so. Probably.
Probably, yeah, because because that game it's never on sale or below. I've never seen it below $20.
And I was gonna put it on my list, but I didn't. Like the LA Noire like VR cases.
Yeah.
That's like the full game.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a thing.
A bunch
no,
of
it's
like
like
a
the
handful
full
of
thing.
individual
Yeah.
cases.
It's like the full game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So as we'll talk about shortly too. But yeah, so I definitely played a lot more VR this year, which I was really proud of and happy about because there's a lot of good stuff going on in VR, and I definitely want to. That's something I'm going to continue I want to continue this year because it's just there's so much more that I still have that I haven't touched. And like you and like my PlayStation VR, like I honestly haven't busted that out in a long time.
Yeah,
like it's been a while again since I brought it back out. So I want to get it back out. I've had a few games I've picked up since that I haven't even started or tried yet. So I would definitely want to get back into for sure. And then the other thing is kind of a later in the year resolution, and that is to hold back on one of the new systems at launch.
Write that down.
So I know. I since
it should be. I mean, it should be kind of easy.
Let's see, the Wii came out after the PS3 and 360, right?
Correct.
I think so.
So since
yes,
since the 360, I have bought every system on launch day.
Damn.
But with the news that Xbox isn't going to release anything exclusive for the new console generation, does that make that easier for you?
No, because it's going to be. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to want to play it on Xbox One, knowing that the better version though is the Series X version.
But you have an X; it already shows in 4K.
I understand that, but we don't know yet.
You don't have an 8K
I need more
TV.
details. But
you don't need more flops.
But the thing is like, but Sony's known to not really release major releases right away as exclusives, like
I don't
big
think that's gonna happen this
releases.
time.
So is it gonna? So that's the thing. I need more detail. That's why I still need more details. Like if Sony's gonna give me like these big, like if they're gonna give me like Spider-Man 2 in the first 3 months or something, like
I don't know if you're getting that.
I
You might be getting a Horizon.
It's like we planned this.
I
or
know.
something.
No, Sony's not releasing Mario.
but I mean, just like something like that caliber for me, like then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, that might start like that's probably gonna sway me a little more towards PlayStation then. But I mean, everything I'm hearing about Xbox, like, and that's the thing, is like I feel like I know more about Xbox kind of right now.
Well, you do.
And
That's
we
a
do.
fact.
Yeah, that's
That's-
a fact. Exactly. So right now, that's why I'm more excited also for the Series X and just how it sounds so damn powerful.
See, I'm stupid. Is like I'm feeling the exact opposite. I was like, I'm gonna come buy both the first day because they're both backwards compatible with everything I already have.
I would say I'm
that,
gonna
and that
buy.
could be the thing. If I can get a deal like on like trading in my systems
I'll,
and that
right,
kind of
I'll
stuff.
be buying a PS5 at launch because
It means like England to get the PS4 out of my room. So like, I'm not gonna be able to trade that in, but I mean, whatever.
you can sell it to her.
Yeah, right.
So so that would be the only way I get both is if
Blood money.
if they do confirm, again, it's still everyone's talking about it,
Right,
but it's
right,
like
right.
we still need confirmation. Like if it's confirmed that it's like, hey, everything's backwards compatible, all this good stuff, then it's like okay, well then if I can trade in my system and get like basically half off each system, then it's like okay, technically I'm only buying one then.
Right,
Like then
no.
okay, I'm in, I'll buy both, like whatever. But I need that, like I need something like that. But otherwise, I want to try not, because it's just like. It's just they're both gonna be a lot of money. That's the thing, is that they're both gonna be between $500 and $600. Like I think
see that. I can
500.
see that.
They're both going to be 500.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're both gonna be right around about $500. So it's like that's a lot of money for two
I'm
systems
gonna
like
get
that.
$100 for the Xbox One X, like the Xbox One original that I still have. So that's gonna help.
Honestly, as much as as much as people rip on GameStop and everything, usually when stuff like this happens, they actually usually do really good deals
That's
on
true.
trade-in systems.
Yeah, that's
so and also with the fact that they're kind of struggling, they're gonna probably have a really good deal on systems, maybe trade-ins.
Hopefully it's still
Like,
up by then.
I think the route I might go is I might trade in both my systems I have for a PS5 and then try to find a Xbox One digital edition cheap somewhere.
okay.
Because the only reason I'm keeping my X right
Game
now
Pass?
is for the 4K Blu-ray on my X.
Oh,
That's the only
okay.
4K Blu-ray
Right,
player I have.
right.
But I want to get. It's like not all the Game Pass stuff is on PC, so
Right.
without an Xbox, I'm kind of not getting my full value there. So.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, yeah, for sure. So we'll see when that gets later in the year. Obviously when we know more information, all that good
Yeah.
stuff, I'll figure that out.
But
But
it's gonna be an exciting year.
yeah,
Like,
I
honestly,
know. I'm
can't-
super pumped for
I
this.
mean,
for
we're getting a
sure.
little like drip feed of a little bit of information
Yeah.
now, but like in the next few months, they should really
Still
be getting
tickle.
more and more. That's pretty much all we're getting. All right, resolutions in. We're gonna do them 100%, no doubt about it, or something.
I mean,
So, last year, PlayStation put out their, like, you can put like the year in review. You basically go to a website and tell you about all the games you played, and tells you about, what you played the most and what kind of games you played and things like that. So last year we went over it. We haven't shared this with each other yet. We all pulled them up. We all have them in front of us. So, 2019 PlayStation year in review. How many games did you stake play?
34.
Mike.
78.
Jesus. So here's the thing. So I say I'm going to play more games. Right. I played 32 games.
But I
on
think
PlayStation.
all of our numbers are a little bit inflated too because we did that PlayStation Now trial and we all tried.
Oh,
we
that's
all,
true.
So that's
And I did
there was
play
that
4 or 5 different games.
Yeah,
with that.
there's
That's
that,
true.
and like when I got the VR, I was just like, I'm trying everything for
Right,
5 minutes.
right,
So
yeah.
like,
Oh, I wonder. So like I got my VR and I would mess around with like the demo discs. I wonder how that.
I bet the demo.
No,
disc
demo
counts
just
as
counts as one.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was very PlayStation heavy at the beginning of the year, and towards the end of the year, I kind of dropped off and barely am on my PlayStation anymore. So,
I also have kids playing on mine as well.
so
so like,
sure, yeah.
a lot of this is me. I'm not saying I'm not passing that buck.
Would
But
you have 78?
78.
So like 70 of it's you.
I would,
yeah, I was
I
gonna
would
say,
put
yeah.
myself in the mid to late 60s.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Next thing is top 3 games. All right. What was your number 3 games?
Borderlands 1.
Nice.
How many hours?
42.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare for me was 45.
Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise, 16.
What about number 2?
Number 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, 35 hours.
Mine was Minecraft. Thank you, children. 62 hours of Minecraft.
Jesus.
I was there for some of that too.
Were you playing or were you just watching?
Both.
My number 2 is Borderlands 3 at 93 hours. What
Nice.
Oh God, please be number 1 too.
Nice.
What's number 1?
do you think number 1 is? The fuck do you think number
Of course
1
it's
is?
How many
Rainbows.
hours? How many
Yeah.
hours?
How
of
many
Siege?
hours do you think, if you had to guess?
3. No, that's too low.
250.
420.
What?
375.
Oh, it was close.
Close to going over.
$1.
I feel so bad about my Madden at 103 hours of Madden.
Wow. Judgment, 35 hours.
Man.
So basically, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Judgment tied.
Nice.
1-2.
I played 100 hours of Madden this year.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
My-
I played like 500 hours of first-person shooters. Just on my top 3.
All right, your top genre. What was
What do you think?
shooter? Mine was action adventure.
RPG.
I had
First-person shooter, 13 games, 599 hours.
24 games, 170 trophies, and 220 hours in action adventure. How many
Yeah.
trophies?
144.
Yeah.
RPG, 6 games, 44 trophies, 75
Man, this all
hours.
makes so much sense right now. It's like they, as I know it's.
Yeah.
All right, how many hours?
169.
That's it.
This is why I said I want to do the Nintendo one as well.
Okay.
Because
Mine's
mine is
the
a lot
opposite.
different.
My
Mine's
Nintendo
Nintendo.
one would be like 12 hours.
Mine's
Mine-
a lot different on Nintendo.
I had like 20. I only had like 20 hours on mine. 575.
651.
I played for 177 days.
92.
185.
Oh, Art. How many hours locally did you play?
301. Hang on.
So you're mostly online then.
That makes no sense.
These don't. I was going to say that.
Some of
too.
these don't
A
add
lot of
up,
these don't- a lot of
right?
these don't
I
add up.
played 375 hours of Rainbow Six, which is an online-only game. I only played 350 hours
that's-
online.
that's
Yeah.
right. How many hours in VR did you do?
17.
Congratulations. I did 3.
7.
What was your prime time to play?
Saturday evening.
Sunday evenings.
Saturday evening for me too. How many trophies did you earn, Steak?
181.
I got 486.
236.
They're all me. How many platinums?
0.
3.
2.
Aha! Suck it.
I could. I can
Yeah,
overdid.
you keep loading up on those bronzes.
That's right. I'm a bronze machine. I got 374 bronze.
3 platinums. Borderlands 3, Borderlands, and... Shit, now I gotta look this up.
Oberdin. And I can't remember my other one. 'Cause I don't think I platinumed the last season of Walking Dead.
I didn't get to Shenmue 3, so I didn't get to get my
Oh.
my third Shenmue platinum out of my 4 platinums I totally own.
Man, I gotta figure that.
Oh,
shit
I
out.
think I got the Rainbow Six platinum this year.
You did, because you mentioned it a couple of shows
Oh,
ago.
nice.
All right, how many dollars did you save on your PS Plus subscription?
Hang on.
This was way less than last year for me. Like a lot less.
I don't have that on mine.
It's underneath.
So you saved $0.
I guess 0.
$13.
25.
How many PS4 games did you get through PS Plus?
26.
24.
I downloaded
must have missed a couple.
22. Some of them I already owned.
Oh, that might have been what it was then. Yeah,
I had a lot. Of
that's
too.
right. Division 2 was my most online played
Oh,
at 13 hours.
Modern Warfare for me. Art? Well, 'cause what was yours?
Siege, which is now at 262 hours online.
Well, we were waiting for matches.
Yeah, I played 100 hours just.
just waiting,
By
watching
myself.
the thing go by. And then last but not least, what was your title that they gave you?
Hey, scroll down under most online games played. So somehow you got 26 games when only 24 were offered.
Yep. Monthly free PS4 games through PS Plus.
Interesting.
You know, I got a couple freebies. All right.
What were you saying? What was the title?
Yeah, what was I said? They gave you a title this year. but you said-
Action Hero.
Mine too.
Marksman.
That makes sense. And you got a chance to get, like you redeem a prize, and you got like all kinds of.
Prizes to
It
redeem?
wasn't working when I tried pressing it before.
I had to do it
but-
earlier today because when I was trying to
Okay.
do it yesterday, it didn't work. But yeah, you get avatars and you get a theme and all kinds of fun stuff. So, man, that's a lot of video games.
So just to prove that I have played a lot of video games this year, let me jump back into here.
I never even got the email for the Nintendo
Let me
one.
jump back into here really quick.
Let me see if I can find.
So for my Nintendo one, I'll just run through really quick. So my 3 most played games were Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Astral Chain and I Am Setsuna. I played 392 hours on my Switch in 58 different games.
Oh,
so there you
Lord.
go.
I'm not gonna be able to pull mine up. When did you? Do you know when you got that email by any chance?
Oh my god, this was a while. This was like
I feel it was
before the new year.
I would say I think it was before the
I
new
think
year.
it was before
too.
the new year.
I'm just not gonna get this in time to make this good radio.
But I mean, other than like those were like the only things that were. Everything else is like they show here is not nearly. You don't need to talk about.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of almost
right.
$400
No kidding. Holy
in
Lord.
Switch there. So
Nice. All right. Year in review. That's a lot of video games. But let's talk about what's coming out next. Steak. What's coming out next couple weeks?
all right, January 17th, Dragon Ball Z. Kakarot. I don't know. Kakarot. I don't know. Whatever, Kakarot, whatever it's called.
Kakarot.
For PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Just Google it.
Oh, there you go. Also on January 17th, Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore for the Nintendo Switch. This will be my first Switch RPG of the year. It was released on Wii U. It's another port, but that was at the late of Wii U's. January 28th, Journey to the Savage Planet for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And also on January 28th, Warcraft 3 Reforged for PC and Mac. Your PlayStation Plus games for January. Right now you can download the Uncharted Collection and Goat Simulator. And for Xbox, for Xbox One, you can download Styx, Shards of Darkness until January 31st.
Caprice Track.
And then starting January 16th through February 15th, Batman, the Telltale series.
Yep.
So that's season 1. And then on Xbox 360, that's also playable on your Xbox One, Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, until January 31st. And there's been a few games that have been added to Xbox Game Pass, but the biggest game to mention is GTA 5.
Yeah, out of nowhere. No lead up,
And then
no
boom,
crazy.
there it
I mean, it's a
was.
great game to release because nobody has it. So it just flies under the radar.
Let me hold on. I got it pulled up here.
Yeah, me too.
For Nintendo, I played the 3 games I played most were Tetris 99, which is not a surprise. Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, and then Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3,
Nice.
Baba Is You, and Night in the Woods. And then
There's a lot of filler.
yeah,
crap.
80,
A lot of
80,
ads.
84 hours is what I put on there. That was it.
I say it showed me 5 games for my most played.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII, Golf Story, Phoenix Wright Trilogy, Slay the Spire, and Thief Simulator. 51 hours, 13 different games.
That's pretty good, though.
My 3 most played days were in April. So
Mine
it
were all
was
September.
definitely
Mine were all
Final Fantasy VII.
Mine were all Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's about it. There's a lot of, like I said, there's just hit a lot of garbage in it.
All right. Done that bit. Extra.
It's time for some news.
Notes.
Where'd my document go? Where'd my document go? There we go. News document. All right, so most of this is at CES. So Sony and Microsoft both at CES. Microsoft came out on stage. Phil Spencer was there. He announced the name of the console, which is the Xbox Series X. I think they said at this time they are only planning on releasing one console at launch.
Thank God.
They
Yeah,
talked.
and that's a surprise
Smart.
They
because
talked about the flops.
all the flops. But just step back in terms of like this, like I would put money on multiple SKUs.
No, I don't disagree, but I'm so happy.
I'm not-
I think
yeah,
it's gonna
I'm
be better
not-
for.
I'm not
It's gonna
upset
be
about
way
it.
better for them.
They have enough messaging problem right now as it is.
Yeah.
Going with the Xbox Series X because you don't have
Plus,
enough. of
if you're putting it
all that.
out, holiday or right before holiday, put your more expensive version out there. If you're going
Right.
to release a light version,
No, totally.
6 months down the
I was
road.
gonna say, then you wait till spring, and then there you go. Yep.
Some images were showing off that maybe show the back ports of the new Xbox.
Didn't sound.
It didn't sound like that.
Microsoft showed some. AMD showed some. AMD said they made theirs up and it wasn't actually the Xbox. So who knows?
They did show the chip though. That was
Yeah.
Phil
They did show the
Spencer's,
chip.
They did show a chip.
The 8K on
an
it.
AK on it.
Yeah, let me rip a computer processor out and show it to you. I don't know what that does.
That's their thing. Phil's done that for everyone.
It's a cool little like.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's a non-informational news bump. Like you know what I mean, like it's just something kind of cool.
Exactly.
To do. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Said later, Sony had theirs. They had good old Jim Ryan there, master of marketing and communications. And Sony revealed a logo. It looks exactly like you'd think it would look.
Yeah, just take the 4 out
And put a 5 in
five
with
in.
that font.
Somebody made 6 figures a year for that.
Yeah.
Well, everyone was going nuts too because like Corey Barlog is going to be in the audience.
No.
Like, they're going to announce something big. And
Right.
it was just a 5.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a 5.
And that's there was so afterwards there was a bunch of people all pissy because they didn't actually announce anything, and that's not the place you do your huge video game console announcement. I mean, even what Microsoft offered was a name and a picture
Oh, it
of a
wasn't
chip.
much. Yeah, no. But they got the pass because they showed the system at the Game Awards. So that's why people.
Exactly.
That's why people would give them such of a hard time.
100%.
Meh.
I'm just saying. No, that is the reason.
So if you don't announce video game stuff there, where do you announce it? E3.
Yeah.
Sony's not going to be at E3, so
Oh.
they're not going to announce it there.
Oh well, but they're going to hundreds of trade shows.
Yes.
What's a trade? Can we start a trade show?
I don't know.
We have it right
I
here.
don't know.
Yeah, we have
Why
enough
not?
space in
We
here.
got plenty of room in this.
What's
in
the
the kitchen.
trade? I got some old Nintendo games that I can't resell. We'll trade you that for
Yeah,
some exclusive news.
that's goofy. But yeah, I mean that's not a surprise. I think. But
I thought this year was kind of a surprise.
this is more surprising than I think it was last year. But at this point, if Sony puts out their PlayStation 5 news hype before E3, they're idiots because we all know exactly when the Xbox is going to have their E3 showcase.
Oh, yeah.
But- so like if Sony puts
We're
out
gonna
like
get all the info there too.
right,
Yeah.
exactly, and it's like there's not a chance it's not going to give you all the info at that E3 press
Yeah.
conference from Microsoft. If Sony puts their their info out first, that's so stupid
Hmm.
because at that point if they're saying it's like $500 and like Microsoft could do like $450.
You know what? $450. Right,
they
exactly,
can pull-
exactly.
They can pull out the old like Sega Genesis thing. We're going to change the price on them right
Yep.
before it launches. Like
Yep.
it's setting again. It's setting up to be a very exciting year for things
Oh,
like
sure.
this because this is one more unknown thing that's going to happen. Like,
Right.
Yep.
It's fun.
I'm sure when Sony does it, they'll do just fine. They'll host their own event and have everyone go get together in LA
Oh,
or
sure.
New York.
they better not
or-
do a state of play.
No,
Oh,
no.
no.
They need to have it like
It'll-
But have an actual-
it'll be a
they need
full-on
the
event.
CEO being like, "Here's the controller."
But
Like, they need that.
it's got to be better than the PlayStation Pro, the PS4 Pro event.
That was a disaster.
That presentation was bad.
That was
Well, that master of communication, Jim Ryan, in charge of messaging. So I'm sure it'll be fine. He's never said anything that's been taken the wrong way.
No,
No, it's
never.
you got that new like Swedish guy or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's
Fine.
yeah.
That's, I'm a bad human being. I should know where the man's from. Anyway,
Oh,
go ahead.
goodness.
I'm sorry.
Other news item: Square Enix put out an announcement the other day saying that both Final Fantasy VII Remake and Avengers are being delayed,
Final Fantasy VII's a month,
Yep.
allegedly.
Yep.
allegedly.
And then Avengers is
Multiple
4
months.
months.
Yeah, one man's month is another man's decade.
So I mean, whatever. Final Fantasy, it's who cares? We never thought we'd get it. It's taken taken a while anyways. It's a month. It could have been way worse. I mean, it still can be, but it could have been way worse. It's a month.
And
Avengers, it probably really needed it.
I'm
And
standing.
and that makes me worried.
I'm standing by my position of after our post E3 show last year. That game is in trouble. That game is in massive amounts of trouble.
I think. Well, now to me, this means that they're gonna have. I think they're gonna have a whole new reveal at E3 for this game, like
Yeah,
a
they
brand
totally
new
could.
reveal, and it's gonna look. I think it's gonna look a lot different because people are still just ripping on them for the character
Well,
models.
if they
and
can,
stuff.
oh no, we can fix a Sonic movie, so why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
If you're ever bored, every now and then we get into a little shit talking contest on Twitter. You should check out sometime.
we really do.
It's very
funny.
GIF heavy.
It is.
It's usually this expensive stakes love for a game.
It's-
Or
it's-
Mike
it's
loving
fine.
inverted
It's
controls.
fine.
All I know
That's
is
true.
that the sticks official
Scoreboard.
account
You know what?
is inverted.
For the record, after I read that scoreboard post, it got worse.
I know it did. The highest it got was 11% for inverted. It was the
I'm pretty
highest it
sure.
got.
I think it finished 90-10.
Oh, man. No, a lot of people can be backwards. That's fine.
Pretty sure when 90% of the people are doing it one way, you're the one who's backwards.
I know I can't change now. It's who I am.
And that's all I got for news.
Excellent. All right.
Let's do
Let's
this.
do this. All right. Last year we did just Game of the Year, and it was like it blew up on us too. Like we got God of War was a Game of the Year last year, and all of a sudden, like Corey Barlog is tweeting us out, and so
That
was
was
like
awesome.
the voice of Kratos, whose name escapes me right now, and like all these people. It was amazing.
was
My
great.
phone was going nuts. It was super cool. I don't know if it's gonna happen again this year, but either way,
I think I turned off notifications that day because
Oh,
that was
my
fun.
phone was just buzzing all day.
I
it
was
was
loving
awesome.
it.
Oh, it was great. It
No,
was
I
great.
think it was like it turned into like a battery life issue.
so to kind of like recap our game of the years, last year was God of War. Year before that was Super Mario Super Mario Odyssey. Then it was
Was it the Ratchet
was it
and
Ratchet
Clank?
and Clank the year before that?
I think so.
Yeah. So this is our fourth
The
one.
fourth year. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So the way we do it, and kind of funny stole it, was we're doing it. We pick our 5 favorite games, our individual 5 favorite games, and there's a count. It basically, you rank them from 5 to 1, and then you get points assigned to it. So your 5th game gets 1 point, 4th, so on and so on and so on. So we're just doing that per usual. However, we added a couple new awards in this year, and it's kind of just like not a definitive award, just things we want to talk about, things we want to recognize, things like that. So which one do you guys want to start with first? I'm gonna leave that one up to you. Let's do
Unexpected surprise.
all right, unexpected surprise.
That's a fun one.
I'll start. Originally, I put Dreams in there, but I was really blown away by Blair Witch this year. It came out of nowhere at E3. No one, and I mean, Blair Witch hasn't been in the mind share for 2 decades. You know what I mean? So it came out of nowhere as an IP, and then I really enjoyed the game on top of it.
Yeah.
So that was a huge surprise for me.
Nice. For me, was Metro Exodus. That is not my type of game, like at all. But god damn it, I had a blast with it. I absolutely loved it. It looked amazing. I enjoyed the gameplay a lot, actually. Even some of the challenging parts. I never got overly frustrated, which is surprising. Usually
Yeah.
games like that, I get to a point where I just get so frustrated, I'm done. And but I stuck with it. I beat the hell out of it, and yeah, it was. I couldn't. That is not my type of game, and I loved it.
Nice. All right, most biggest surprise for 2019.
Mine would be in Borderlands 3, how they just didn't give a shit about what like you're attached to in that series. Like they were taking main characters and killing them off.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it's one of those things like in the moment you're like, oh shit. Like the character that I played Borderlands 2 through all the way with, they just dead.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, what the fuck? Sons of bitches. I really didn't care about these bad guys now, but yeah, like the fact that they're like willing to do that, knowing that, I mean, they didn't kill off all the main characters, they didn't even kill off most of the main characters, but they killed off some main characters, which was surprising, and it made me take a step back and go, okay, they're not just catering to fans here, which as much of that game was like fan servicey.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in there too that makes you stop and go, oh shit.
Nice.
man.
Nice.
Oh, it's always fun to be like surprised by a series that you love so much, especially one that you love so much.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're all the way in on that thing. So give it a chance to change it up. I think that's really neat and interesting. All right, next let's do individual favorite moments from this year. I got more than I probably should, per usual, because
I limited myself to 3.
All right.
because I figured I could have gone a little crazy.
All right,
with
what do you
this.
got? Because I think we might have a couple of the same ones.
Okay, so for my first one, just playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, okay.
Like the fact that it was number 3, like officially number 3 finally after all these years, and actually going through it, continuing Sora and all of them story and everything. It was
Kingdom
just
Hearts 33 in the third.
Yeah, it was just. It was great to play through it, regardless of if it was great or not for how people felt in terms of gameplay or whatever. But I loved the fact that I finally played Kingdom Hearts 3, and I enjoyed it. Like, yeah,
Very good. Yeah. And there's always a sense of like relief when like a game that you've been waiting for a long time is
yeah,
good. Like,
exactly. Like I enjoy. Like that's the thing. Exactly. Like you could have gotten terrible reviews, but I still enjoyed it, and that's all that matters, personally.
Trying to think of one that you're not going to have, so I don't look like I did a lot. In A Plague's Tale, there is halfway through the game, the game is terrible, right? I mean, there's like a dog has a terrible death in the first scene of the game, and like that just sets the tone how like miserable and awful and grimy and disgusting and all the things you're gonna be doing in this game. But at one point in that game, you come across a battlefield post-battle, and there are just dead bodies everywhere. and you're going through, like, you have to climb and move
Yeah.
and go through them, and it's just like, this level's going on forever, and it's really just like, it's something I've never done in a game before, and
Sure.
like, it really kind of stuck with me in terms of just like, this is awful. Like, I'm already in a bad situation. This is more awful, and like, is this really what it was like post-war? Like, was it just bodies and dead and dismemberment, and then one of the main things is rats, and like, obviously
Right.
they're coming in to feast on dead bodies and stuff like that too. It's just like, that's one of those things where just like, I can't believe they're doing this, and I can't believe they're doing this for so long on top of it.
Yeah.
That was a thing. So that was when I wanted to highlight. All right, what do you got?
I would go towards in the new Modern Warfare, like when you're doing those missions where you're going through and like sweeping and clearing a building.
Yes, I love those.
And
too.
you have to, just the tension, like there's a woman huddled in the corner with the kids. All right, is she gonna pull a gun out of one of the kids' diapers? What the fuck's going on? Do I shoot her? Do I not? And then you'd go into another area. It's just like the tension and like that. I don't remember, like, if you shot someone you weren't supposed to, did they fail the mission, or did you just have people yelling at you?
If you did enough of it,
Okay.
it would. So I mean, if you did one, you would keep going.
Right.
But there was a point where it would cut you off.
But yeah, the fact that you can go in there and kill a mother in front of their children, or towards the end there when you're interrogating, what's that guy's name, the butcher,
Yes.
and they bring in his wife and kid, and
Yeah.
you can. They play with your mind a whole lot in that one, because you could point the gun at someone and pull the trigger and it clicks and there's no bullets. Then they give you the loaded gun as you're leaving, and you can do something, you can not do something. Just like the tension in some of those moments.
Yeah, I always felt like at some point they're gonna like take the gun out of my hand, and they never did.
Yeah.
They let me make that decision.
And that's like I said when I was playing it, like when the guy wouldn't talk, I pointed the gun at the wife and pulled the trigger, and like I was waiting for the game to like stop me. And part of it was like, let's see how far they let this go. Am I gonna fail when I do this?
Yeah.
And then you do it, and then I think Price comes over and gives you the bullets for the gun, and then you load it. But yeah, just the tension in some of those moments and kind of how things can go, and if you do kill that mother in front of her children, how do you feel after that?
And they do kind of address it in the next scene, like where it's like you have that talk with Captain Price, and just like, I don't know if I can do this. And Price like, you in or you out. There's no in between. And it's like, you're already like, neck deep in at this point too. So there's,
Which I don't know why you asked me why they had my guys say I don't know if I can do this when I shot the butcher between the eyes as I walked out the door.
yeah, I think that was fine. That's what I did too.
What do you mean? Am I in or I'm out? Did you not see what I just did?
All right, let me put another one on here too. So I talked about that, when I played After Party, like the moment I jumped off the balcony onto that bouncer. I very rarely laugh out loud at video games, but I laughed out loud at that point. I thought, it was one of those things where the promise of the game was, you drink the booze and it changes what you can do, and that was exactly what it was. I didn't have the ability to jump on that bouncer until I drank the liquid courage drink, and I was just like, now I have the ability. I was like, let's do this. And I sure looked up what he said. He said something hilarious, and then he jumps off the balcony, and I just laughed my ass off. Like, it encapsulated the things I liked about that game all in that one moment.
Sure.
And again, I just wanted to highlight it. Steak, what else you got?
So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the story
Okay.
was so great. When I was getting closer to the end, I texted Mike, and then when I finished it, I texted Mike about it, because one of my new favorite Star Wars characters appears near the end of that game, and appears way too late in that game, because I needed more.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the combat of the game and everything, but the story was so good. Things happened at the end that I did not see coming at all.
Speak for yourself.
Thank you. First, I'm so glad I never saw the Thanksgiving.
I sent that to him afterwards.
Oh yeah, I was
like,
so mad. Like after I was finished, and he sent me what it was. I was like, dude, I'm mad for you. That got ruined.
It was like the 3 last fights and like a big moment at the end.
Mm-hmm.
They showed it all in that commercial. It was
it's
just like a recap of the end of the game. Like, what
exactly.
are we doing?
Yeah, that was awful. Like that was just so bad. But the story was so good and thank God for Baby as baby difficulty because I would never be able to finish that game.
To be a more specific moment in that game that I highlighted to is when you got to control the AT-AT at the, like, near the beginning of it.
Oh, yeah.
That was so awesome.
That was awesome.
I just
That was cool, yeah.
I'm fairly positive I've never done that in a game
Yeah.
before. Like, I didn't even know what an inside of an AT-AT even looked like
Right.
until that moment. And just getting
That
a
was-
chance to, like, walk him in and, like, mow him down and then ultimately,
Yeah.
like, crash and, like, watching the whole world, like,
Oh
tilt
yeah,
as
that
you go down.
was awesome.
That was one of the high points of that game for me.
Absolutely.
All right, what else you got?
Nothing.
Nothing? Steak, what else
Totally
you got?
forgot about this category.
It's like-
We had a good one.
The only one I have is just in general year in VR.
Oh.
It was a great year in VR. A lot of good stuff. I was so glad. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, I was so happy to get back into it. It's made me excited for VR again. Especially the Quest. The Quest has made me very excited for VR again.
Do you get the hand update yet?
Yes, I did. It's pretty cool.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's but yeah, it's just it just makes me excited for the future, where they're going, what they're doing, and like again, like I love the PlayStation VR a lot, but man, I'm really excited. Like the things they're doing with the Quest is really impressive.
Yeah, when I was, I was probably gonna buy a VR unit either way this year, and the only reason I went with the PSVR is because of that deal that came up, and because like I had so many already games I already owned on there.
Right.
And it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, if the Quest, like maybe a year from now, like
Sure.
the library is gonna be big enough, and like maybe I should have done that instead, because this is a better piece of technology, and like I don't know.
So I have a feeling by this Christmas, it's either going to be there's going to be a deal on it, or you're going to be able to get like some stuff with it for
Nice.
free.
All right, I got a couple more. The end of Walking Dead. I had to bring that up. It's near and dear to my heart. I've talked about that enough. Two. I mean, the whole Mr. X thing in Resident Evil 2. The very first time he comes up and is just like, "Oh, I guess
Yeah.
we're doing this now." You know what I mean? Like, oh god. And then
Uh-huh.
like I always talk about the tension of that moment where it's just like, all right, I'm in a safe room. I hear him thumping around. I just got the key. I know there are some rounds I need all the way across the map. So I'm like, all right, is it? Then I'm looking like, all right, I'm looking at the map. I'm like, all right, Mr. X is somewhere over here. I know there's a liquor in there. There's like 2 more zones. I forget it. I'm going back. I'm going in reverse. I'm leaving those bullets, and maybe I'll get back to him later. Like having that moment, like having him affect the way I play so
Yeah,
much.
right.
It was so unique, and I loved it. I know you hated it, but I loved it. Last but not least, the ashtray maze in Control. Did you guys get that far?
No. I don't think so.
No.
You guys would love it, and I'm not going to say anything else. All right. We got anything else? Oh, most anticipated.
Yep.
Most anticipated games, 2020.
Yes.
I'm going to start with an obvious one. Resident Evil 3.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Absolutely. Especially after that trailer that they released yesterday too. Nemesis just looks insane. And it's a smarter Mr. X, which makes me very worried. Actually.
Yeah, with a giant big-ass gun.
Yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy VII Remake, of course, is
Yeah.
completely obvious.
What if that's not out till 2021?
Stop. Just keep going.
My number one is Cyberpunk.
Ooh,
Nice,
really?
yeah.
Just over Last of Us?
Yes.
Nice.
Just what they've shown of that environment, it's right up
Fuck
my
yeah.
alley. Can't wait for that.
I'm like not playing. Like I was gonna put like Witcher on my list. I was gonna put Fallout 4 on my list because I didn't play those games. I'm like holding off on all those things because I want like my first like my next like open world RPG, which I never have time for anymore to
Yeah.
be that. Like
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that too.
Cyberpunk's be awesome.
What else do I got here?
The Last of Us is the other game I've listed.
I have that one listed as well. You got anything else on there? Or was that just the one?
The other one that I put, again, I just kept it short just
Yeah.
so we can, because I know we had a lot to do.
I can't. I can't keep anything. I can't.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that looks gorgeous. I cannot freaking wait for that game. Like that just like reminds me so much of, Animusha, of course, but like a little more serious. And it reminds me of a lot of Neo, but not with the difficulty that comes with Neo. So it's actually
Sekiro.
playable. Yeah. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Every time they show more of that, I'm just like, yeah, I need this. I need this now.
No, I got 2 deep dive games. One is 12 minutes. We talked about that at
Oh, yeah?
E3, which is like that you loop that 12 minutes over and over again, and the top-down view is kind of like trying to figure out how to get out of that 12-minute loop and save yourself, your girlfriend, and God knows what else.
Right.
And then Disaster Report 4. You guys are
Oh, yep.
I played a Disaster Report game on PlayStation 2, I think
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
They all don't come to America. there's like an earthquake in a town, and then you're basically trying to get out of it while there's earthquake is happening.
Yeah.
There's a VR mode in this thing for PSVR 2, which I don't know what that even means or how that even plays or
Well,
what's going on.
I'm in. So.
But like Disaster Reports are like one of those like kitschy like PlayStation 2 games I
Yeah.
played like forever ago and liked, and it's really hard to find. So I'm just excited a new one's coming stateside.
Nice.
All right, it's go time, guys. Game of the year.
Bum, 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 bum.
So, to reiterate, we already talked about how it's going to go. So, we're going to go from 5 to 2, do our honorable mentions, and then reveal 1. So, we're not ruining 1 for anybody. And we know how the point system works, so I'm not going to go over that again. But who wants to go first? Who wants to give out their 5th favorite game of 2019 first?
I'll go first.
Okay, what do you got?
RE2 remake.
RE2.
Just worth the wait. We were wondering where the hell this was for so long, but it looks fantastic. They did a great job updating it. Personally, I mean, I kind of agree with you, Art. I don't care for Mr. X. That part of the whole thing of it, like I said, there was like at first I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of crazy. This is okay, but then I got to a point where I was like, okay, this is really fucking annoying now. Like, so that kind of worries me about RE3 because Nemesis is supposed to be Mr. X, but way better and smarter. So that worries me for that. But Resident Evil 3, that's how Nemesis, that's how that game worked on PS1
And
anyways.
you could down him, and he would stay down.
Yes, right. So I'm hoping this way it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. Because like with RE2, like I believe Mr. X was part of the second playthrough. He showed up, right?
Yes, he
So
was.
that's what added like the challenging. So the fact that they forced it into like the original, like kind of made me not want to go through it again because of that. So I never did the second story for it, but. Like I said, the controls were great. Everything about that game, I blew through it in a weekend. Like I did not want to stop. Like,
Yeah.
So it's still just really good.
I'm gonna be talking more about it later, but I think I talked a little bit about a second ago, but like also just how those are my favorite zombies in video games. Like just how they just fall apart when
absolutely.
you're shooting them,
Absolutely.
and just how nasty and gross
Yeah.
they are, and just like
Yeah.
and 1 or 2 really is menacing. Like there's should be a lot of video games. You get like 2 zombies, just like whatever.
Right.
I can mow through those guys.
Bullet
Like,
fodder.
no,
Nope,
because
not
it's
this
like
one.
it's really not that way. Just
Yeah.
because your bullets just are so precious in that
Yeah.
game, like it was in 2. So they carry that over. But I think there's way more enemies in this one.
Yeah.
But whatever. All right, I'll go next. Number 5 for me is Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I never played the original when it first came out, so I said this was my first chance at playing this game. What I loved about it is because it's the Zelda that I love. It's a Zelda I grew up with, and like it gave me a chance to play like the old school, like not aesthetics, but the old school like mindset of playing those old kinds of like Zelda games with a new beautiful coat of paint on it, like that like toy looking, moving around like a board. It's just I love that. I love the way it looked. I love the way it sounded. I think like just like the music choices were really really cool and interesting and great. What the thing that kind of pushed it down to was like that lagginess did hurt me a little bit, and like I was lost a lot in that game, and maybe because I'm an idiot, but also maybe
That's the way
it's
it
an old
is.
game.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it played like an old game. The new stuff they put into it, I didn't even touch. Like the stuff like the
Dungeon
dungeon
builder.
building.
Yeah,
I didn't do that
no,
at
that was
all.
stupid anyways.
But like I just love the adventure of it. I love the characters that are in there. I love that it was just like Link's story. There, I mean, I have no opposition to Zelda, but it was a new story for me too. That it could just be it was just Link's fever dream of a game. The whole thing
Right.
was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just like I really really enjoyed that game. I hope they make another Zelda game with that same like look, but maybe a new game. Where it's like
Absolutely.
so it's like the same vibe, the same look, but like a new version of a new Zelda game.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it too.
Number
Let's see.
5.
Number 5 was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I like they brought back Captain Price, the old characters. They put you in those tense moments where you're clearing buildings, like I mentioned before, and are you going to shoot that innocent or not? Are you sure they're innocent? Or
Right.
when you turn and look at the door, are they going to shoot you in the back? The story was, I mean, when we talked about it before, I'd said, it's a Call of Duty campaign. But it was nice to have a Call of Duty campaign back. That, that kind of tight, like 6 to 8 hours, campaign you played through, looked gorgeous. Technically, it ran perfectly fine for me. And then I liked at the end. I I didn't like it. How they told you, like, oh, it's a reimagining of the Modern Warfare story. No, it's not. It's a prequel to the Modern Warfare story. You didn't tell us that. It's the start of a reimagining to the Modern Warfare story.
Yes, that is the correct way to put it. It is the start of a reimagining of the story.
Yeah.
But you get to the end and Price is there with his folder of all the people he wants on his team. He starts dropping all those names that you're familiar with from Modern Warfare. Also, the multiplayer, I thought it was the best that Call of Duty multiplayer has felt in a long time.
Totally agree.
It was not as much of the jumpy, slidey bullshit that I hate. When you shot somebody, there was a reasonable chance they were going to go down. So for me, it was kind of a throwback to when I enjoyed Call of Duty games. I haven't enjoyed the last handful of them. I begrudgingly play Blackout at this point because Andy hates Rainbow Six now. So
we gotta find a new shooter.
yeah, but yeah, Modern Warfare my number 5.
Yeah. Also, the sound design in that game is
sound-
amazing.
Which is saying something coming from Black Ops 4,
Exactly. Like,
where the sound design is trash.
please move Blackout to Modern Warfare for love.
Yeah, put a battle royale in there, please.
Oh my God.
I'm like, that's the only reason I'm holding on to that game at this point.
Totally agree. All right, number 4.
Number 4. My number 4 is Blood and Truth.
Ooh.
It was I think last year when we did this, I had Astrobot on here saying like, if you want to show someone PSVR, this is the game you show them. No, Blood and Truth is the game you show them.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Get them in there, let
Absolutely.
them whip the controllers around like they're holding the gun. Pick up a gun, drop a gun. You have to reload, and then when you get into those on rails portions, it's like you're in an action movie.
Yeah. It's insane.
It is like you are living in an action movie.
And those get so intense.
Yeah. And yeah, for that I enjoyed that more than I thought I would really ever enjoy a VR game. Even though I have a VR unit, I've kind of thought like, it's a gimmicky thing you throw on for maybe an hour, maybe 2, and I think I knocked through that game in like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Not enough to go back and try to platinum it.
Oh hell no! You
but
see
I
the
really
platinum?
enjoyed
Do you do,
Oh, hell
do, you,
no.
do you do the they added on some stuff? Like they had like
Bunch of
shooting ranges,
challenges
and they had
and
like
stuff.
a one that they had
Yeah,
like
no.
a music one where it's like
Yeah.
a shooting notes that are coming.
No,
at you.
I haven't done it. I played it. I played through it when it came out and beat it, and I haven't played it again
same
since.
here.
Gotcha. Cool. Man, a VR title making it on the list. Love it. Number 4 for me is a game I very super briefly talked about, but now have beaten. Life is Strange 2. I think it's better than its predecessor in almost every way.
Wow.
It does what's beautiful. I wish I could have talked about this in what you're playing, so I can talk about it more extensively because I don't want to take up all the air in the room here. But what I love about it is it kind of takes the Life is Strange formula, where it's like in Life is Strange 1 you're playing as Max, and Max has the power, and you get a chance to use your power when you want to. In this game, you play as Sean, who's the older brother of Daniel, and Daniel is the one with the power in this one, and he can moves up with his mind, like telekinesis, like grab stuff, throw stuff, lift stuff, whatever he needs to do. So like I am kind of through the events of the first episode, we're on the run, and we're on the run from the police, and I'm kind of raising him and also teaching him how to use his power. So I'm like his father and his mentor at the same time. So like I'm trying to teach him like when it's appropriate to use his powers, when it's not appropriate to use his powers. And there's times when I'll be like, hey, I need you to use your powers right now, and he's like, no. I was like, okay, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like it's a different dynamic than the first one was, but there is no, talking about pulling punches. There's no pulling punches in this one either. Like episode 2, which I did replay because I don't know what happened, but like the options I needed to go through were just not there. So I had to like start at the beginning of episode 2 and start play it again. The beginning of episode 2 is a massive gut punch. The end of episode 2 is a massive gut punch. So that was awesome. I had to do that beginning gut punch twice. But the way they integrate, like the second they integrate like Captain Spirit, who was like they had that standalone freebie episode that showed
Right.
up. The second he showed up there for the first time, I knew what was going to happen, and I did everything to prevent it, and I still couldn't prevent it. And it's just like what I've realized more than anything else in these games is like you play, especially with something like this, because I mean, Daniel and Sean, they're half Mexican in current day America on the road by themselves. So people are making in some more southern parts of the United States. So like they're trying to maneuver all that along with like trying to survive and trying to see if like do we go to the cops or not. And like I feel like more and more I play these games, I'm realizing I'm playing as these characters' conscience and not like necessarily what I would do, but what's necessarily what I think they should do in their instance. And there was what cemented this game on my list was in episode 4, something happened, and it made me change the way I thought about Sean and all the choices I made in episode 5, including the ultimate decision I made at the very end of it. Like, because he did something in episode 4 that I had no control over, like it was going to happen, I think, pretty much no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't betray what he did there with my decision I made in 5, is the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
And I got the ending I got, was just like, man, I did bad. I got the wrong ending. Turns out, not so much. All the endings have like a different.
All the endings are bad.
All the endings surrounded around the two brothers, and like some of them are better for one than the other one.
Sure.
Some of them are kind of bad for both. Some of them are kind of good for both. The one that I got, I think, was probably the most true for the character. I still feel for Sean, and was the best outcome, I think, for Daniel. So like Daniel's outcome was up here, Sean's was somewhere over here.
Okay.
It was not that great, but I watched all the endings afterwards. I was just like, my God, like there was not a point in that game where I was just like, I would have done anything different, and I was happy with how it all kind of turned out, and it all made sense. But it was just each episode really and like the kind of overarching theme of the game is like what families are and what they mean, and like in each individual episode you get a chance to look at a different like family, structure, and whether it be your actual family or friends or church or grandparents or wherever it is, and that's saying like how some of them are good, some of them are bad, nowhere in between, and like your mom is gone and you don't really realize why until you get to like the 4th episode. So like talking about even like your actual, and it really explores the different ways to find happiness and love and how to deal with real shit in life. So it was intense and nuts, and I loved it. So
cool.
I highly recommend it.
Oh, that's
I
great.
hated the way it released. It took over a year to
that
release
was
every
ridiculous.
episode.
Obviously, now that it's all out, I'll play it.
Yeah, now that's all out. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like
Yay, episodic releases.
if you didn't play the first game, there's 2 things that changed. Like it'll ask you at the very beginning if like what choice you made, and that's the only real difference. And they'll reflect both of them. There's a cameo from season 1 that I did not see coming, and didn't even know what was happening until it was like the 3rd time I saw the character. I was like, holy crap, I know who that is. It's a guy. So like there was that, and then the Captain Spirit stuff. You probably didn't need to play it. If you didn't play it, it's probably fine.
Okay.
But if you did play it, it just gives you a little more enjoyment and fear.
Yeah,
because like
fair enough.
because you know kind of what's going to happen next. So all right, I'm done talking about Life is Strange. Steak.
Nice. So my number 4, I've already actually talked about today, and that's Metro Exodus. It's just like I said, the story was great. I was so into the whole world. It's very rare for me to get collectibles and actually read them or listen to the tapes and actually legit listen to them and stuff like that. It was so good. Like I said, when I was thinking about the other ones, Unexpected Surprise, I put that in, and I was like, no, that's got to be in my top 5 too. Like it's just, I really enjoyed it.
Nice. Steak, give me your number 3.
So for my number 3, I have a feeling.
He always changes. He's not.
I'm not like last year. I'm keeping it at number 3, but I have a gut feeling that if I had the time and if I would have finished it, this very well could have been my number 1, and that's Control. So I forget how far I'm in it right now, but I'm not near the end. I'm not even near the end.
What was the last big fight you had?
Oh, what was the last couple of things I did? I was in that I did the furnace thing.
Okay.
And then after you go through that whole area, you come back to that one area, and then there's a whole bunch of guys shooting everyone. It's like shooting at your guys, so you have to help the team.
Okay. That's right. My game broke.
Oh, okay. And then
I'm very aware of that area.
So, and I believe I'm like a little bit after that. So I'm back. I went back to the executive office and talked to the main girl, I forget her name, and where you basically reveal, hey, here's why I'm here. Like you finally revealed to her, no, the voice in your head telling you, no, just tell her, tell her, and then you finally tell her why you're there. But I've played enough to where it's like, God, the controls are so good. The story is so intriguing. I guess this could have actually been under my unexpected surprise as well, because Remedy, very hit or miss with them, because I am one of the very few that hate Alan Wake. I thought it was so overrated. But this one, I'm enjoying so much, and I just couldn't put it higher though, because it's just like, I don't know if it's going to let me down. If I keep going, if it's going to let me down or not, kind of thing.
Did you play Quantum Break?
Quantum Break, I played the first act, the first episode, and that was good. I just never got back to it. Like, so one of these days I would like to get back to it and go through it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I have a gut. But how much I am enjoying it, if I were able to finish it and it keeps going in the direction it keeps going and everything like that, this very well could have been my number one.
Nice. Number 3 for me, again, like you talk about your surprise. Mine, Blair Witch. I love Blair Witch. I'm going to shout it from rooftops. No one's playing this game.
That's awesome.
I don't know if anyone's ever said that.
I'm shouting I love Blair Witch from the rooftops. Sorry. No, for real though. I mean, I talked about when I first played it through, and now this, it's going to be on PlayStation now, and they updated some few things here and there, but just like, it's such a unique game. Like, it feels almost like a walking sim, but there's enough action in there, and there's enough things to find, and there's just enough mind fuckery just to like. It really sticks with you. Like I said, I basically beat it in one playthrough, and I still thought about it, days and weeks later, just because there's just so much there. And like my only real complaint with the game was the ending just took forever. But just like I said, it's the best dog in games. I really believe that. Like, it's the most useful dog I've ever had in a game.
It spurred a topic for an episode.
It really did.
I did. Yeah, it did.
And just in terms of like how and there's such a cool mechanic of like the dog being able to sense like a monster, and you having to like, the only way you can see them is when you gotta find where your dog is pointing, and then you gotta put the flashlight on them. The way they manipulate you into the different endings, I think, as well, is I can't think of anything else that works that way. Usually, like, it's this choice, just this choice or this choice, but it's not that at all. Like, it's the way you play the game, and like so many games promise that, like, the way you play the game is going to determine how you play through. This game really delivers on that, and it makes sense thematically in the way that it works, and the ending I got, and I was like, after I read it, I'm like, oh crap. That's totally right. I totally messed this up. I played the whole game wrong, and I got the bad ending, and I deserve it. And I love it for that. Like, it didn't shy away from putting you in a situation where you were kind of making bad decisions when you had other things to do. The exploration of it was great. It felt like the woods. It felt like you were alone. It was really scary. Like, it really felt that. And having that first, not really having a whole lot to defend yourself with. Like, you're really vulnerable out there, and it's a great atmospheric game. It tells a crazy story that I still don't have all the answers for, but I kept this kind of by design. Some really memorable characters too in there too, along with just like your the main protagonist. But yeah, Blair Witch for me had to be on my list, and it just made sense for me to put it here.
Cool.
Art. My number 3 is Far Cry New Dawn. It takes you back to the same place that Far Cry 5 was, but it's completely changed. It puts a twist on the whole post-apocalyptic wasteland. Mm-hmm. It's not the barren desert that you see in Mad Max and Fallout and most of Borderlands and all this other crap. Not crap, I should say that. But it's colorful. It's there's flowers growing. There's people there. It's not
lots of pink.
Yeah, it's not this barren place, and it takes me back to years down the road of a story that I enjoyed until the ending. And then you get to the ending of this game, and it gives you a chance to do what I wanted to do at the end of that one. Even though they try to make you feel like it might be the wrong thing. But it takes you to the end, and it gives you what they always gave you in the Far Cry games, which is a choice at the ending. You can... you have Mickey and Lou there, the two villains, and one's dead, and you can kill the other one or let her walk away. And then there's Joseph Seed, the father, and he's apparently turned a new leaf, and you can kill him or let him live with what he's done, which he regrets, and he wants you to kill him. And the fact that they finally gave me the ending and the choice that I wanted at the end of 5, really made me enjoy this game. Not only that, I I enjoy the just the different approach they have to unlocking things and leveling up and all this other thing where you have to go around and it's the same thing. You go around and do missions, but as you do the missions or the fortresses or what the hell they call them in this game, you get rewards for it, and then you cash in those rewards to be able to unlock the next thing, which then progresses the story. So it's the same, but a little bit different. Just different enough to give it a new twist on it. But it's one of those games that like I played through it on PC and I beat it, and every time I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's on sale for like $15. It could be an easy platinum. But given that I don't have time to play other games that I should and want to be playing, I haven't taken that leap.
God, I can't believe they came out this 2019. I feel like that was so long ago.
It was like February.
Yeah, I feel like it was even like I felt like that was like last year when you said that. I was like, holy shit, that was like early last year.
Yeah.
Hey, not to alarm anybody, but we've had 9 games, no overlap yet.
Yeah.
We never figured out a tiebreaker.
Well, there's gonna be overlap.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Art number 2.
My number 2 game, Borderlands 3.
That's not an overlap. No one has that.
Give time. It is everything I wanted from another Borderlands game. There are people out there who complain that it's just like Borderlands 2. Yes, Borderlands 2 was a fantastic goddamn game. I wanted more Borderlands 2. I got more Borderlands 2 with a ton of new story and a bunch of vaults and different bosses. Right. And granted, the main villains in this one were not nearly as entertaining or enjoyable or endearing as Handsome Jack was, but you have like 7 different galaxies to go to and all these different environments and different enemies in every one. Sometimes the childish humor could be a bit over the top. But when you get past that, it feels great when you're running around shooting. I've never used a shotgun as much in a game as I have in this, just how good it feels to use a flipping shotgun in this game. It's one of those things like the first time I fired a shotgun, I was like, whoa. I think I said it before. This and Modern Warfare were both made on Unreal Engine 4, and I think that shows in just the graphics of the game. It looks much more polished than Borderlands 2 or the pre-sequel or any of the other ones that came before it. It has, like I said, ton of fan service. If you've played through everything Borderlands like I have, there's going to be a ton of references there for you. Even if you haven't, I mean, there's enough new story there to... you don't need to know who every character is and what their backstory is. It brings back a ton of characters from past games that you loved or don't want to deal with. Hello, Claptrap. And they tied in every part of the universe. Tales from the Borderlands stuff is in there. References to stuff from pre-sequel 2, 1. And then, like I said, as you play through that game, it just flips everything that you know on its ear. Major characters dead. Some major characters not dead. But yeah, I played through that one, and with the exception of like the last 2 trophies, it never felt like a chore to get the platinum.
Nice.
In past Borderlands games, you would have to play the game like more than once. You have to like play it once, then go into like a second playthrough. I hit max level in the first playthrough. I had to do some, collecting checkpoints and stuff to get the platinum, but just about everything that I wanted from a new Borderlands game. And the new DLC came out for it recently. I haven't even gotten around to playing that.
Nice.
Playing that Siege.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm not playing that. I'm hating myself for playing it.
All right. My number 2, and I'll take care of the overlap, guys. I got it. Resident Evil 2. I mean, you were kind of talked about it. I talked a little bit about it already, but it had that. It's about as perfect as a remake as it can be. Like it still felt new. There was new stuff to do. They mixed up some of the like the tried and true formula stuff. Like they never felt like it wanted to be new, and it was more of an homage to the original Resident Evil 2 as opposed to like feeling like it had to be like Resident Evil 2.
Right.
That makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there's some things that didn't necessarily have to do or need to do. I almost wish it would have done it like the side B, like normal Resident Evil 2 did, in terms of it like not being. They cut it down. They have a few different things, but like in the original Resident Evil 2, like it was paths that would converge, but the stories would be different.
Right.
Like it doesn't make sense. I'm redoing some things that I didn't in side 1. Like why am I doing it again in side 2? But whatever. but like there's just so many moments in that game where it's just like it is just genuinely just like creepy and claustrophobic and you have those. I don't know how they managed to do this, but they're just constantly down to my last bullet. Like I just have just enough bullets to get past what I was doing and get the heck out of there. And sometimes I wasn't even the case. Sometimes I was out of bullets.
Yeah.
And sometimes I had bullets for days.
Right,
But
exactly.
I was
Yep.
always either just past something or just after or just before something that needed my bullets.
Yep.
So, man, the game when we talk about it, the game is gorgeous. The zombies feel. We talk about how the zombies just feel imposing and just like. You're trying to all the things that you do in zombie games, like either like hurting them or doing the kite thing or whatever. Like none of that stuff really works because they're just kind of just roadblocks, and you can't just like nudge them and get them out of the way. Like if you got to either engage them or completely avoid them.
Yeah.
You can't like do.
Yep.
There's not many real smart things you can do with these guys. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. We were talking a ton about it, so I absolutely adore that game, and that was on the top of my list for a long time. But and the game now is like $15 everywhere.
Oh yeah,
like
super cheap.
I don't care what kind of game you like. Like there's something in there for everybody. It's really really great. Steak number 2.
Number 2 for me is Judgment. So this is from the Yakuza team. This is their next game that takes place in the Yakuza world, but outside of the Yakuza games. So this is you're a detective. I've talked about this before and everything. But God, the story's so good. It uses that new great engine. The gameplay is just phenomenal, and it's just like because everyone was like, "Well, what are they gonna do now that Kiryu's not there and stuff like that? Like, how's this gonna work?" And it's just like, "Oh, okay, you guys totally pulled it off, like big time." And I mean, it still has a lot of the Yakuza charm with a bunch of different mini games and stuff that you get yourself fallen into, and but God, every time I just jump, I still need to finish it, but as you see, I'm 35 hours in. I'm very close to the end. I need to just fucking finish it. But it's just so good. Like everything about it, I really, really enjoy, and it makes me so excited for Yakuza 7 later this year.
They come out this year.
Yeah, this year. Yeah,
jeez,
I know.
I mean, they were cranking stuff out in that studio.
Just popping.
My
it's
God.
crazy, man. They're just on a roll right now. But I mean, everything they're putting out is great. Like that's the thing. Like they haven't really messed anything up yet. So, 'cause, I mean, that Fist of the North Star game that was my 3rd on my list. That was from that same team. Like so. But yeah, I just love that style. And if you haven't played Judgment yet, that's another one. It's constantly being on sale for like $25 or less.
I'm constantly eyeballing that game.
It's just so good. It's so worth it.
All right, we're down to number 1s, but before we get there, honorable mentions. So, what games do you guys play that didn't quite make your list?
So I've got 3.
I got a lot. Anyone surprised? No one should be surprised.
So I'll start with mine really. I'll just go through them really quick. Blood and Truth. One of the things I said. I mean that like got like I said. I was struggling like my bottom like 4 and 5. I was struggling with because these games here were really trying to make a run for it. But Blood and Truth just VR. If you got it, get it, play it. So much good, so much fun. And then I've recently played and finished. I played it for like a week straight and finished it. Astral Chain on the Switch. It is so good, so good. Again. Thank God it is a casual difficulty because that game is tough even on casual. But God, it was so crazy. It was so over the top. Like what you expect from Platinum, but it was solid. It was done really well. I mean, the story kind of made sense, not really, but you could follow it. But you could follow it, and you wanted to keep going, and so that was really cool. And then this one. I had such a hard time between this and Resident Evil 2 for that 5th spot. This was really, really tough. But Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5 was phenomenal. Like, I was thinking back on it. I'm like, man.
I thought it was going to be number 1, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, man. I'm like, it was good. The story was great. It was so much fun. It brought back the old Devil May Cry charm. Just felt like I haven't played Devil May Cry 4 in forever. Like when that first came out on 360, that's when the last time I played Devil May Cry 4 or that type of style. Because DMC was a little different. I enjoyed DMC, but it was different. This was like, this is the Dante story. This is great. Now, like I'm ready for 6.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna run through mine. I already talked a lot about these. Modern Warfare. Walking Dead final season is again near and dear to my heart. I know it's not great, but whatever. Shut up. Far Cry New Dawn, for all those reasons you just said, like I I am now a Far Cry fan. And playing 5 in this, like I'm in. I need to play 4 and 3 and all the other ones too. I have 4. I've never played it.
Play 4, 3. I bought the classic edition that came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tetris 99. I still play that game. I still haven't won, but I still really, really like that. I don't know what it is about that.
Did that come out this year?
Yeah, came out this year. That's the game I played most on Switch was Tetris 99, and probably by a large margin. A Plague Tale: Innocence. I mean, I was almost there. Like that was probably number 7 on my list. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. It was junk food. It's again, I know it isn't great, but it's my list. Damn it. After Party. Jedi Fallen Order. Gears 5. Gears 5, like I feel like I should have liked that more than I did, and I just like I have not put a single ounce of thought into that game after I finished it. Not a single minute. Untitled Goose Game, you're such a jerk, and I just love it. Baba Is You, Dreams. I think this is mentioned it can be coming out soon. Ape Out, and then what was my number 5 game until Life is Strange knocked off the list was Apex Legends. I put a lot of time in that game, and I still think that's like has the best. If I can play the game with random people with no microphone, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because that ping system is so great and so innovative, and like I wish all shooters, not just.
It's one of those things too, where it's like you do it and you're like, why doesn't every shooter have this? This is so easy. This is so simple.
It's a fully contextual button press where the bad guy's there, armor's here, guns here, that door's open. Like, hey, let's go this way. Same button press is all of those things.
Yeah.
And your character is in the voice of your character says those things out loud to your party members.
Right.
Holy crap. I mean, I mean, again, I don't know what level of coding and things like that is, but it's just like, it's just so simple. And
Sure.
it just does everything you need, communication wise in the game. It's all there. And it's great. Apex Legends is great, and I was kind of out of like the mind share now, but I still think that game is absolutely great. What do you got?
Okay, so you mentioned Baba Is You. That is an ingenious game. It's nothing flashy. It's nothing over the top.
It's the opposite of flashy.
Yeah, but it's just the way the game works is just it's ingenious. And whoever thought of that, I hope they made a lot of money off that game because they should. The other 2 games I want to mention, they were never going to make my list, but I'll get into that in a second. So, but the Resident Evil 2 remake, even though I crapped all over it before, and Death Stranding. So, I like I said, I just want to mention something about them. So, Death Stranding is a beautiful game.
Yeah.
I'll leave that one there. That I can get super far into that one, but just running around in that world, the environment, the people you interact with, beautiful game. Resident Evil 2. I think back long time ago. PS1 launch, I played Resident Evil 1. You get some of those feelings in the gameplay in that, especially, like you mentioned, the resource scarcity, the just the shooting in there, how it's you don't get like a reticle, you get to move all over the place. Like you point and shoot.
Yeah.
And hopefully you hit.
Someone was talking about Resident Evil 2 recently, and they were talking about the old Resident Evil games in a way I've never thought of before, where it's like, it's an adventure game. It's not an action game. That is a straight up an adventure game.
Yeah.
And I think Resident Evil 2 does a really good way of balancing between the action and adventure of it, where it's like, it feels like the old adventure piece of it, like you're talking about, but it just has enough action in there to feel like, it's a modern game.
And it's like, but like I enjoyed, like, up until Mr. X shows up, I enjoyed going through and finding the keys and finding, doing the little puzzles, and you have to go to this place and get that thing and go over here. I enjoyed all that, and I think between that and Death Stranding, I figured something out. I'm not a big fan of the games that are heavy on suspense. Like I like Modern Warfare, where you go in and there's like a couple minutes of suspense, but like games like Resident Evil or Death Stranding, where it's like high suspense for long periods. Like I go to a buffet, I want a little taste of the suspense. I don't want to fill my plate with the suspense.
Gotcha.
That's just
for sure.
I don't like it. That's like
fair enough.
When you're sitting there stressed out playing a game, that's not why I play games. I play games to relax, and playing Rainbow Six kind of goes against it because I get pissed off all the time. But it's not suspenseful. It's
very
like
intense playing Rainbow Six.
But like I avoid suspense and drama in my life, and going into a game in that. So it's like I realize like it's kind of hard for me to unfair for me to sit here and say like that game was trash. And like it's not my cup of tea. But like there both were like I can appreciate why people would say that was their game of the year. Let's not get into the remake thing. like just looking at the game as a standalone, I can appreciate why someone would say that was a great game. It was their game of the year. I guess when people speak highly of Death Stranding, again, I can appreciate why people would say that.
For sure.
It's just not my cup of tea. And that's what I've come to realize over the past 2 weeks.
When we hit the extra time, so I was like, maybe I can just squeeze one more game in. And I text Arch. I played Death Stranding. He's like, tough question. He's like,
Yeah.
Maybe should. I was
Right.
like, I don't know.
Well,
and then I played Life is Strange too.
Okay,
And-
yeah.
It was, because my impression of it was not great. I got to the point where you start having to sneak around and the things flicking around on your back. And,
Yep.
and I'm like, this isn't enjoyable or fun. If I get past these things, I'm not feeling like I accomplished anything. I'm like, I'm 2 hours in, and people say you have to get to 10 hours before it's even good. I'm like, I don't want to sink 8 hours and 8 more hours in this hoping it gets good.
Mm-hmm.
So I just moved on in my life.
Moving on with our lives to number one. Number one. I think it's your turn, right? Because if we're
Sure.
serpentining.
So my number
Steak.
one is, I've talked about how this is most right now.
Steaks game of the year.
In my opinion, besides Steaks Game of the Year, currently the best game you can get on the Nintendo Switch right now, and that is Luigi's Mansion 3.
Whoa.
That game was just so phenomenal. It looked absolutely incredible. I had the game I had the most fun playing was every single hour of Luigi's Mansion 3. It's so good. It's so worth it. The mechanics of it are great. Like I said, it looks phenomenal, and I think right now it is the best game you can get on the Nintendo Switch.
Watch out. I should put it on my New Year's resolution. I have the game. I should put the game on my New Year's resolution.
You
list.
should, because it is so good and it's so much fun. And then that's the thing, because as it's one of those games too. You can keep going back to all these different levels as you unlock more powers to find all the collectibles and stuff like that. So there's plenty to do. It's phenomenal.
Well, I think you're finally not gonna have the game.
Nope,
number
I knew
one.
that. I knew that. No, I totally knew that.
All right, my game of the year is a comeback story. Is Control.
Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. So I mean, for the uninitiated,
You can't call it a game-breaking bug.
it was. So I got to a point where I was in the bottom.
One in 10 million.
I had a game breaking bug where I couldn't open this door that I needed to open to progress the story, and no one online has it. I saw one other guy said he had it too, and when he did to fix it, didn't fix it for me.
2 in 10 million.
Yeah, so it just broke,
Yeah.
and I went away from it for a while. And you guys were playing it recently, and I was just like, no. And then I played Jedi Fallen Order. It's just like Control does all of this better, and I like
It's
Jedi
true.
Fallen Order.
It's very true.
So I jumped back in. I got to that point. It was the tensest button press of my life. And the door opened, and everything was fine. And it was great. And then I got a chance to progress. And then I got to the best parts of the game.
Yeah.
I talked about, when I was talking about Jedi Fallen Order, that I never really got that power fantasy piece of it. By the end of this, you're ducking and dodging, you're flying, you're shooting, and it's just you're switching weapons, and it's there's so much going on, and the different
Scatting and bebopping.
you are getting a chance to really control the room with all your powers and your weapons, and sometimes you gotta hide, and then when you're out of bullets, then you start throwing rocks, and then you put the shield up, and you can throw the shield later on, and it's just man, you talked about Remedy earlier on, and I liked Alan Wake, I liked Quantum Break. I love this game. No one makes a game like Remedy makes a game, and this is the best one that they've made, and I absolutely adore and love this game. Between just again, not only the power fantasies and just all the world building. I have stopped and read everything. I have read all this stuff, and it's sometimes just what the hell is that? Sometimes that's really funny. Sometimes just office politics. You know what I mean? And it's just
Right.
you never know what you're going to uncover when you're picking up a document or hitting a button on a machine, or playing a crazy video. Or,
Those videos on the TVs.
oh my god!
Oh, the videos on the TVs are the best. Those are so great.
Yeah, and that the science store the name escapes me now. He shows up a lot more. When
Oh,
we get
nice.
onto it.
Okay.
And the way he progresses, and how he explains the world and what's going on,
Yeah.
and the hiss and things like that, is just that makes so much sense.
Cool.
And in
Cool.
this crazy chaotic world. I talked about the ashtray maze earlier. You guys get to the ashtray maze if you got to.
That's not the because now I know exactly where I left off. I left off at a maze.
Yes.
It's a maze where you're in like it looks like a hotel thing.
Yes.
And then like then you walk in a room and
Yes.
random parts of the wall
Yes.
start opening up.
That's it.
Okay, that's where I'm at right now, and I remember I got so mad because I couldn't figure out where to go.
You can't figure it out yet.
Okay.
When you can figure it out, they're gonna put you in that room.
Okay.
And it's hysterically breaks the fourth wall in when you're actually in that maze of wall breaking.
Yeah.
But like it's that moment is one of those things I'm gonna remember for a long,
Cool.
long time. It's
I
really
gotta
really
get
really
back to
great.
it. I gotta finish it.
Some of the bosses near the end are insanely difficult, and it took me a lot of tries to get past them. And then once you get past those, you do get that power fantasy thing where like they're telling you you're facing like level 30 characters, and I'm just smoking them. So like it has everything I love. It has the exploration, it has the world building, it has the collectibles, it has a really cool and fun skill tree to like populate and grow and perks to pick up and attach, and you can really once you get the chance to like get more perk slots, and you can really start customizing to the way you're playing. So if you want to be brute force, you can do that. If you want to be more moving around, you can do that. There's just so many things to do, and it does it so great. Like I'm so glad I went back to it because, like I said, I absolutely adore this game. And like I said, I was already on the Remedy bandwagon, but anything they put out going forward, I'm on for it. So I'm glad they're getting some game of the years, and they're getting this recognition because
For sure.
they totally deserve it. They're a great studio. They've been a great studio for a long, long time. And finally, I'm hoping now that the game has been out for a while and this game of the years is coming out, I'm hoping that they're starting to sell more and more and more.
Yeah.
So they can start making more and more and more. And I cannot wait. But the only thing I did, I was 3 trophies away from the platinum, and I stopped because I was starting to not like it. And I was like, I want to
yes,
wait for the
yes.
DLC.
There you go.
I might even get a couple of those trophies when I'm doing the DLC.
Right,
'cause a couple
right.
of those things
I
are
was saying,
going
was
to
it
happen.
like collectible stuff?
It-
Pick up
it-
so many of something.
It was more like, do you have like these random occurrences go in there too? Like where you're all of a sudden be like, they'll have like a high alert, be like in
Right.
central maintenance. There's an occurrence.
I failed
I did
very
a lot.
badly
I did
my
too.
first time.
And I
one
feel
of
like I
those.
didn't get a ton of those pop up either. So
Yeah.
like I had to finish like 10 of those, and there's one more mission I didn't get to just because I wasn't powerful enough at that
Okay.
point. So like I just those like the last few mop up things I had to do.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't want it to feel like a chore,
Sure,
especially
sure.
if I want to play more.
Yeah,
and
for
DLC's
sure.
coming out in a few months,
For
so
sure.
cannot wait for more Control coming out soon. That is my game of the year.
Cool.
All right. I wanted to make like a joke here and be like, my number one's also Borderlands 3, and I win. Suck it.
Oh, that math checks out.
It's 9 points. What's up? No, my number one is also Control. It's, every time I sit down to play a game, when nobody else is online, and I'm all right, sweet, nobody's online. I don't gotta play Rainbow Six. I can go back and play Control. And then someone pops online, and I feel obliged to play Rainbow Six. I was also going to joke that Rainbow Six is my game of the year.
I'd allow it.
Well, yeah.
It's your world,
It would make sense.
But yeah, when I talked about it before, it's like it combines so many great elements of so many different games I've played before in the past, and it gives me that the puzzle solving exploration part of Resident Evil that I enjoyed before Mr. X shows up, to the part I'm at now. I haven't experienced anything like that, and from what you're describing, I'm not going to experience anything like that. That's just needlessly stalking me to make the game more artificially more difficult, and that's just how I felt about the Mr. X character. I'm not trying to trash talk Resident Evil here. But yeah,
You mean our number 3 game of the year?
Yeah.
Sure, number 3.
Sure.
Talk about it.
But and just there's so many different parts of the story, and it kind of is a supernatural thing. And how did you describe it to Vegas? It was like you said, it's like an episode of the X-Files meets
It's
something.
you're a Jedi with a gun in an episode of the X-Files.
Yeah.
Yeah, that describes it.
Who does that
perfectly.
not sound like a good time to?
Yeah. No, that was
I mean,
perfect explanation.
as long as you'd play more than Madden and Call of Duty all day,
yeah.
that sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
You should write quotes for the back of the box.
I think it's on record.
But it's every time I think about playing that and don't play that, I'm kicking myself in the ass. I'm like, God damn it, I need to get back to that game. And I know I play a bunch of games. I'm like, I'm going to get back to that game, and I never get back to the game. Like that one, like I'm not allowing myself to buy another PC game until I beat that one, which I plan on buying Cyberpunk on PC. So I got until April to knock this out.
Where are you at
What do you mean?
in the game? What was the last big thing you did?
I don't remember.
Okay. I just want to know how close you're to the ashtray maze.
I don't
Because you're going to
remember.
love it. It's so good.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Control. All right. Well, per usual, there's no suspense here. No tiebreakers. Control.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that there was 2 out of 3 for a first place vote. Talking about it weeks ago, I honestly thought we were all going to have like 5 different games.
Well, we have okay. Out of these possible 15 games, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 12 games on this thing. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's
no,
pretty
for sure.
So it's the
Yeah.
overlap. Resident Evil
Resident
and
Evil,
Control.
Control.
We all 3 of us had Control
Yeah,
there
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, all 3 of us had Control. So top to bottom, game of the year was Control with 13 points. Luigi's Mansion 3 was 5. Resident Evil 2 with 4. Judgment had 4. Borderlands 3 had 4. Far Cry. No, I mean everyone. It's in our order of our stuff. So Far Cry New Dawn, Blair Witch, Metro Exodus, Life is Strange 2, Blood and Truth, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. That is,
That's a mouthful.
there's a lot going on. And like,
And I'm not surprised at all with this year because at least like the last couple of years like there's been like consistently some really big games that we've all played.
Yeah.
So that so when they showed up at least somewhere on all 3 of our lists, I wasn't surprised at all. Like there was at least 2 or 3 of them like that. But this year I had a feeling because like even when I said when I was going through my list, I'm just like I don't know. I'm like clearly I'm not. This is the first year I knew for hands down this was the first year I was not going to have the game of the year as my number 1. But like I mentioned though, it could be though. I just didn't. The only reason why Control is at 3 is because I haven't finished it.
and
like
no,
I mean, I haven't finished it
And
either,
that's-
but there's also no other game that I've been sitting there for
Sure,
a long
though,
time
right.
being like,
absolutely,
fuck, I need to play
No,
that.
for sure.
and we talked about when. Last time we recorded, it was just after IGN announced Control a Game of the Year too,
Right.
and people were giving a shit, and I said like, no, looking at the year, like I can give you an argument for like
Right.
10
Yeah.
games that
Yeah.
could be any less. And here we
Absolutely.
are. We got
Right.
13
Exactly.
different games on there, or 12
Exactly.
games in this thing.
Yeah, at some point in the year, like I said, Devil May Cry 5 ended up being an honorable mention. I think that was like 2 or 3 for me at some point on my list this year, and then just kind of whatever, but yeah, it was a lot of it was a solid year for games.
Right. I mean, like I said, I don't think when we talk about remember the year Control came out.
Right.
Like,
No.
I don't
Yeah.
think there are some definitely highlights here. I mean, we highlighted them. So,
Yeah,
but like,
right.
But I mean, I like God of War better than anything that comes on this list right now. I like,
Remember the year Horizon Zero Dawn won no Game of the Year awards?
Yeah,
dude, that game, man. That game got robbed.
including at ours.
I know that was my fault.
Criminal.
That was my fault. It's all my fault. I should have switched that around. But with my heart, Mario Odyssey made me just so happy. I couldn't deny it.
Let's not get into this.
Man, Horizon is one of those games too I do think about from time to time. Just like 'cause I have like the Aloy like figure on my TV, and it's like maybe there's literally nothing else for me to do in that game. But like, what's going on?
I bought the DLC. I never played it
It's good.
because by the time I bought it, like I had already set the game down for a long period of time, and it takes a while to get used to that bow and arrow again.
Yeah, and like that's why if you do decide to go back in, don't jump right into the story piece of it. Like honestly, to God, like just don't because
Just run around and hunt for a while.
it does not. I mean, because that game, the DLC does not doesn't ease you into the experience.
Yeah.
Like you're fighting these guys are very high level and don't die. Yeah, man. Overall, kind of a crazy year. Like I said, I think when we talked about most anticipated controls on my list, so like I knew again I thought it was gonna be more of a personal thing, but it turned out as great as it actually did. I'm happy that we're able to honor it with the top spot on our list. So
Honestly, Control was nowhere on my radar, and
Me too.
hearing you talk about it, and then like if there's something that's not on my radar, I need to hear like different parts of my life that are not related to each other talk about it. And I think like I told you that before. Like you and a girl I worked with, so we're talking about Dexter at the same time.
oh yeah.
And then I just had to binge watch Dexter. I watched the first season. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah,
And that was like you talked about this, but then there was like other people, other video game outlets. I'm hearing people who's I generally share opinions with, and they're like, Control's a great game. Control's awesome. I'm like, shit.
Well, that was the thing. Like once the Black Friday sales came up, I was like, all right. Well, actually, once the Cyber Monday sale came up and it was still the same price, and I could use my GCU, I was like, all right. And then they forgot to scan it.
Oh,
when
man.
I got
Game of the year, man. Right?
Maybe
Deal of the
maybe
year.
that alone,
I
that's
think
the deal of
you
the
should
year.
bump up a spot just for that.
I might need to. Yeah.
I didn't finish it, but it was free.
but it was free, so
Well, like-
I got control for free.
Yeah, I mean, my harrowing tale of control was, I bought it. I bought the the digital deluxe version of the game, so I paid more than full price for the game.
They'd be like,
I
what,
can't turn it back
80
in. I can't
bucks.
do anything. And I can't play it. I played that section of the game for like 2 hours because it's like, well, maybe there's other things I can do. So I'm like hunting around, finding other things to do and whatever it is. But man, yeah, I absolutely adore that game. So I'm glad you guys did as well. I keep playing it. Let me know when you get to the.
No, I plan on it. Like I said, especially going to that after playing like you said, after playing Star Wars, it's like, oh my god, this does everything so much better than Star Wars, like in terms of gameplay.
Mm-hmm, totally agree. All right, how long have we been doing this for? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say one more thing. Like, the unrelated game of the year. Just a little side story here. You had mentioned like all the Black Friday sales. So all throughout like the Black Friday, Cyber Monday season, I was waiting for Death Stranding to go on sale because like I wanted to check it out. I didn't want to pay $60 for it. And like all through those sales, like it stayed at $60, and I'm like, you know what? Good on Sony and Kojima. If you think that's the value of that product,
Sure.
stick with your price. That's awesome. And then like a week after those sales ended, they dropped it to $40 everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what the hell are you guys doing? If you're
That's
going
when
to
I
drop it to
bought
$40 a week later, do it when everyone's buying everything on sale. What the hell's the problem?
Yeah.
I ended up buying it for $40, and that's when I got it. But I'm like, I was thinking like, because I was like frustrated everyone on sale anywhere on Cyber Monday and Black Friday. I'm like, you know what? If you see the value in your product, good for you. Good for sticking to your guns.
Right.
And then a week later they drop it. I'm like, that's just poor marketing. What are you doing?
That's when I bought it. I was happy. All right, how long have we been doing this for?
Huh?
How long is it?
About an hour 40.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations, Remedy, Control. We'll tweet at you. Tweet us back.
Yeah,
We love you,
We're creating a graphic.
per usual. We don't have anything physical to offer you because we're poor. But
I can send you a fantasy football trophy. It's a curse.
it is a curse. All right. Next time, we know what we're going to do next time. But we're not going to take a month and a half to do it. So we'll see you next time, Stickheads.